Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, Seven Heaven. I'm so grateful you're here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, all that good stuff. I hope y'all have been enjoying the readings. I've been enjoying reading y'all's comments and suggestions. So we're gonna get through some of the suggested readings. But today, actually someone did suggest this. It might have been, was it Chanel, XO, somebody. But we're gonna talk about Luigi's missing Hawaii chapter. So obviously we've been covering this case a lot, so make sure y'all check out some of the other videos. But there was a time for, I think, between 2022 and for almost 2 years, up through 2024, that Luigi was in Hawaii. And they love to mention this, but I have another video that's going to talk about kind of previous cases that were allegedly staged by the CIA, military intelligence, or other sort of intelligence agencies, just so y'all can get a feel for how that works. But I was just having a really, really strong calling to do this because I think his missing Hawaii chapter may have been kind of government intelligence time, the time that he was being watched and prepped to carry out this whole operation. So we're just gonna pull some cards, y'all, about his missing Hawaii chapter. Spirits, guides, angels, please, what do we have for the energy? Celebrity. Interesting. It's quite interesting they took him off the map for some time because I don't know, he went radio silent. Like, he even had friends in Hawaii, which even the surf thing, we'll keep these. Even the surf thing, y'all. Interesting to me because I lived in a commune, actually. I lived in a commune in California, and they had cameras on us so that they could, allegedly, so that they could see who was doing the dishes and who wasn't. But now that I look back, there were some very interesting people there with some very interesting connections, kind of all the way to the top. So it's quite interesting to think about what else they might have been doing, because observing is it's useful to kind of hegemonic purposes. And I don't do this out of radicalism, y'all. It's just out of the psychic calling. But can we have more cards for Luigi, please? Interesting. Mountains. Mountains. One of the only times that he allegedly broke the law in Hawaii was whenever he was trespassing in some sort of mountain. And I mean, obviously, for the celebrity that he is now, most of what we know about him was kind of crafted during this time in Hawaii. So a lot of it kind of speaks to an operation of some kind. Thank you, spirits, guides, and angels. Interesting celebrity and jealousy came out, because there's this idea of he kind of has, I don't know, like say this is an operation that's going on for some military level, and Luigi was chosen for many reasons to carry out, to be the fall guy, to be the famous one. Somebody's jealous of that. Like, I'm hearing that there's somebody else that was there that wanted to be this person, but they chose Luigi on purpose. So even during this time, at this sort of, and think about Hawaii, y'all, it's historically been a huge hub of central intelligence and military intelligence and just all kinds of intelligence operations. So I think there was somebody else kind of on the inside that almost wanted to carry out, wanted to be the criminal, but they chose Luigi. They chose Luigi for very specific reasons. Very interesting. trapped. So, yeah, I mean, I think in addition to kind of prepping him for this, they needed to place him here. So once he scratched the surface on what they needed him to do, there's no getting out. Now, mind you, I've mentioned in previous readings that his family was involved in this, but I really just think that there's some kind of tie where even if he went to Hawaii of his own accord, then they linked him up with this. Like one day, almost like being Flash, this is so weird, but like, he's going there of his own accord, and then he links up with some people that he thinks it's a random chance encounter, but really it's just like people who are a part of this agency, a part of this job. Social media is also very interesting. Social media celebrity, because a lot of the pictures of him are him having fun out in Hawaii. So that paints the stark contrast between what we thought about him, or what we would have thought about him if he was off the radar, versus this fun-loving Hawaii dude. It's also very interesting to me because he had a book club at this place. So I really think that the whole thing that was supposed to be for grad students and then became a dorm for adults, I think that this whole thing, y'all, was just a front for some type of intelligence operation, even if there's only a few people in on it, because they also said his fellow members at this little commune said that they were reading Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber's like memoir or manifesto as a part of the book club, and that's what made the book club fell apart. And I mean, not that that's not, I mean, yeah, it's funny, but it's also quite strange because when we think of, I mean, a lot of people do think Ted Kaczynski was a mind control victim, but when we think of different kind of operations, it's interesting that their book group was studying Ted Kaczynski's book for the book club. So it's like, think about, okay, if we have a commune of 20 people and we have 5 or 6 agents or inside people, then those 5 or 6 people, maybe possibly one of them being Luigi, are involved in this book club. And then they're like, yeah, haha, why don't we read this mind control manifesto as a part of our book club? And then all the normal people are like, this is weird, I'm leaving, I'm gonna go do yoga or whatever. But then all the other folks that are of the intelligence thing are interested in it. So I found that to be a very, very interesting detail about this. Spirits, guides, angels, please give us a concise, clear message. Yeah, this is a weird one, y'all. 5 of Cups. Yeah, that disappointment, they're in the graveyard there. But you can see, ooh, I was spooked. You see that guy peeking out from behind the tree there? Kind of scary. He's right there in the corner. It jolted me as soon as I looked at it. I think that's that idea of eyes everywhere. And also this woman crying over her son. I really think his mother was kind of resistant to his doing this. But eventually, I mean, she had to be in on it because she's also trapped. She's also far gone. So there's the idea of like, you're trapped and you're in a space that should be empty, but there's kind of eyes all around you. What else do we have, Spirit? Yeah, I think he was being watched in Hawaii, though, and I think that's where they began to prep him and groom him for this process. Also, distancing from his family. This was a time when he was away from his family, I mean, as very normal college students do, but I also think that this was a time whenever he's distanced from his family intentionally, but it has the double case of working out of linking him in with other people potentially involved in this level of intelligence operation. And his family hasn't been involved, so they want to distance the family from him in the public eye as much as possible. And also, y'all, remember, magically his social media is filled with How much he hates the government, how much he's on Goodreads talking about Ted Kaczynski's book. So it's interesting that his social media, readily and available, was filled with this information already. And it's just like, okay, I'm distant from my family. I haven't talked to them in years. So it doesn't look like, and we'll go over, y'all. There's a really good case that I want to go over that has kind of CIA all over it. But sometimes people's families are what the kids like to call spooks. And if they're working for the government, it's easier to make that link. But today, if we say, oh, he wasn't close to his family at all, look, he's all over social media in Hawaii by himself, he wasn't doing anything, that makes it look so much more like it's really just him acting of his own accord and not something that might be connected to family intelligence operations. Spirits, guides, angels, what else do we have? And I would say, I mean, even going back to this, when he trespasses when he trespasses where he wasn't supposed to be, that citation, that's either, I don't know that he stumbled upon this agency because I think it goes deeper than that, but I think that he went into some part he wasn't even supposed to go, even with the little things that he knew. So they had to cite him for that, or they intentionally just gave him a citation to place him in Hawaii because that's a legal document. Whenever someone's staying at a commune, they're not going to have a legal trail of that. But this is something, his trespassing, that's another thing, trapped. When he's trespassed here, there's certain bounds he's not supposed to step out of, but it also just places him legally in Hawaii during this time. So even if he was moving around, because his friends in Hawaii said he went radio silent for months after this. So then they're not even allowed to know, because I'd wager some of them weren't in on it. But just his trespassing there and his receiving of a citation is a legal record that he was here. They're pinpointing him different places. What else do we have, Spirit? Oh, do we have any cards? I just thought about his injury, so let's look into that. The Four of Wands. It's a party. Oh, speaking of the injury, interesting. I mean, two things happen, y'all, and this little birthday party card fell out too. But I think that his injury, if it's genuine, say it's not just phony and that it's genuine, I think that they roped him into this by saying, we'll give you medicine that's not even on the books. We'll give you medicine that's not even on the books so that you can heal this injury, whether that's extreme pain meds, whether that's whatever surgery. And I think they might have paid for his surgery, and that's something more so that puts him in debt. And also, okay, so now I get why this came out. Before, dismemberment. And now this card has bodies and parts too. So I really think that they were just kind of using his kind of disability to get in with him. Y'all see all these little like body parts getting chewed on here? Like they're using his injury to say like, oh, well, we have something that will make you feel like Superman. You know, like we have something that'll make you feel great. And then after he received all this from them, he's in debt. So I do think his injury was used as a bargaining card, and that there was some kind of like super shot. Like, oh, we have the super antidote to anything. We have such high level medicine. And that could have even been another reason why he was in Hawaii, because they practice some of this or keep this medicine in just like mountains. In the mountains. You know, they have this medicine, they have all this stuff. In like almost like a secret medical operation, I'm hearing like it's like a medical experimentation ground. So he might have been just given to some sort of medical experimentation ground where they've figured out the healing to this sort of stuff, and that's given to him in trade for doing what they need him to do. And if the pain's as bad as they say, then like maybe he would. And on top of that, they give him this antidote. They promise him celebrity. Y'all know, like it's kind of crazy. Like they can promise you, well, you'll be famous, you'll work for us, you'll be safe, and we'll make the pain go away. So, and on top of being sacrificed for his family, those things incentivize him too, y'all. Do we have one more card, Spirit? I'm gonna have to do a part 2 on this. So we'll leave this energy behind for now. What we had? And this came out before too. This came out before. So there's some kind of like, there's a payment in turn, and there's that he didn't need insurance to get done what he had to get done. It may have made him feel worse, but this was promised to him, and there's some sort of payout. Spirits, guides, angels, what do we have? One more card to clear out this energy, please, for Luigi's time in Hawaii. Oh, what do we have here? Kind of sweet, that little childhood friend. But look, I mean, the leg is injured there. And it's funny because there was a New York Post article about him like tickling girls and stuff. And I think that there was just, I don't know if those girls were in on it, or if they might have lured him there with some people from childhood, because there was mention of somebody that he went to college with in UPenn, but they didn't become friends until here. And I think there might have been other people who were his friends whose family were also spooks, or, you know, just kind of ran on the inside. So I think they kind of lured him here with friends, y'all. And look, well, the back of the deck, a literal beach. Yeah, so that pull of like, we'll give you the antidote, you'll have access to all these girls, your back will be fixed, and you're gonna literally be famous. So he was tempted into this. Still thinks it's wrong, but he was pushed by his family and bribed by very real things to go up in there in the mountains. Very, very real, y'all. This energy was strong. I'm gonna close it out there, everybody. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, book a personal reading, and look out for my next Central Intelligence Luigi reading as well. I really do love y'all so much, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye now.